nung binasa ko ang Bible, maraming contradiction ang mga turo namin. Tapos, sa simbahan namin last Sunday, we have a simple disputes. Because according to our stand, the Bible, we only believe the Bible as a word of God as long as it is correctly translated.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Sir JR ng Usap-Usap University at sa ating episode na naman po, kung hindi niyo po alam kung ikaw ay baguhan, welcome po kayo. Ang atin pong ginagawa ay hinihimay po natin ang mga argumento, mga diskusyon, especially mga religious debates o mga pagtatanong. At yan po ang ating gagawin sa ating episode na ito. Atin pong aanalisahin ang isang episode po ng Itanong Mo Kay Soriano at ang video po na ito ay shinare po sa atin through Facebook. Sa ating more than 1 million po ng mga views every month na ating natatanggap sa Usap-Usap University. Kung ikaw ay returning subscriber or returning viewer, maraming salamat po. Kayo po ang rason kung bakit po kami nagkakaroon lagi-lagi ng enerhiya para magpatuloy po sa ating pong palabas. Sa konting background po, ako po ay dating university debater sa loob po ng 3 taon sa MSU IIT. Ako rin po ay nakapagdebate na sa ABS-CBN News Channel, kalaban ko po Lasal at FEU. At ako rin ay isang member ng isang international public speaking organization, ang Toastmasters International. So ano pang hinihintay natin mga ka-U3? Let's watch this video together. Let's go!
Ang tanong ko ngayon ay iba. Sa lahat ng naririnig at nauna sa akin, iba. Kasi ito ay inconsistent na sa pag-iintindi ko, nagkasalungat yung nakasulat. Bakit ko ito itatanong? Kasi isa sa mga programa mo, narinig kita na sinasabi mo na the soul of man is the most important treasure that we can have in this earth. Mahalaga ang soul natin na kailangan mailigtas. The only basis of salvation in Christian is the Bible. That is why my question will be referred to the Bible itself. One of the great philosophers which I know says this, that the Bible contains a mass of truth. But before anything can be admitted as proof by the Bible itself must be proved first. Ang nagsabi nito, isa sa mga nagsayan ng Constitution of America. Kaya nire-respeto ko. Bago ako sumanib, kung sumanib man ko sa inyo, kasama ng mga pamilya ko, kasi lahat kami nasa Mormon ngayon.
Mormons.
At para sa akin, mayroon na akong problema na hinaharap kasi ako ang nagdala sa pamilya ko doon. All of my children are professional except one. Kaya parang problema rin sa akin kung ang kaligtasan ay totoo man, ay nasa panganib na po ang pamilya ko. This is my question. It is written in Acts 9:7 and 22:9. Kung pwede, ilagay lang natin sa screen.
Lagay natin ang 9:7 muna.
Para
9:7. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man.
Ngayon. The other one is 22:9.
22:9.
Yes.
And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake to me.
Kung nakikita natin yan, isa itong pangyayari sa karanasan ni Paul nung tinamaan siya ng isang light na hindi na siya nakakita. Ang hindi ko lang maintindihan dito, yung isang narration, narinig daw ng mga kasama niya, yung taong nagsabi. Yung iba naman, yung isa naman, hindi narinig. Pero isang pangyayari lang ito. Paano ba, alin ba ang tutuloon? Isang pangyayari lang ang naganap. Bakit? Yung mga taong kasama ni Pablo, hindi daw narinig. Pero yung isang nag-report, si Lucas yata yun, narinig daw. Alin bang totoo dito? Nakarinig ba ang mga tao? Hindi.
Ganito po. Let us
Okay, before that, no, what I appreciate about this person asking the question is, kinlarify niya kung bakit niya tinatanong ito. You know, madalas po mga ka-U3, kapag nagtatanong po ang isang viewer sa Itanong Mo Kay Soriano, si Brother Eli pa yung nagtatanong minsan ng background, ano po, about sa particular person, like, why is he asking that question? Pero ito, si Sir, siya na mismo yung nagsasabi na, ito yung why am I asking this? Although personally, I find, well, I don't want to use the word trivial dahil lahat naman ng pagtatanong kay Brother Eli ay, kumbaga, tinatanggap naman in all fairness. Pero masasabi ko na, I think, sa perspective ni Brother Eli, some questions probably might seem insignificant or hindi ganun yung weight as to questions on doctrines instead of non-doctrines or for some cases, clarifications on what really happened. If you remember, merong INC member na nagtanong kung ano nga ba daw yung nangyari no, sa panahon ni Jesus Christ nung siya ay pagkatapos na dakpin ng mga sundalo. Kung sino yung mga tumakas, sino yung hindi. I remember that Brother Eli answered at the last part. Sinasabi niya na ito naman ay hindi mga aral patungkol sa kaligtasan. But for others, they treat it as a big deal. That's the thing. So, it may be true that some things may be insignificant, some things may be very important, pero I think what is nice about this program is si Brother Eli, binibigyan ng chance ang lahat na magtanong, no? At para din na at least maliwanhagan yung mga utak ng mga viewers po sa kanyang programa.
Differentiate the two incidents. We are speaking of only one incident, agreed? But there are two narrators of that incident. The first narrator is Paul. The second is Luke. See? Si Luke, meron siyang way of writing events. Let us see that. In the book of Luke, chapter 1, verses 1 up to 2, it says,
For as much as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us, even as they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the world.
3.
It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first.
Please note, it seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first to write unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus. So that is the style of Luke. Before he writes, he investigates. And before he writes, meron siyang perfect understanding of what he is writing. Ayan po. Let us now consult the first verse. That is 9:7, yung unang verse. Pakinggan po natin.
And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man.
It is true. According to Luke, the narrator here is Luke himself. The men with Paul, which journeyed with him, stood speechless. Meron sila kasing nakita eh. Hearing a voice. Hearing a voice. Remember, they heard a voice, but seeing no man. Yan ang sabi niya. Hearing a voice, seeing no man. Let us look at the other narration, which at this time will be Paul. Let us read that, 22.
And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake to me.
What is the contradiction then? Yung una, nakarinig sila. Nakarinig sila. Hearing a voice, but seeing no man. But the second account is,
In the second
heard
one,
not the voice of him that spake to me.
hindi, ang twist mo lang dito, yung mga tao nakarinig.
Opo.
Yung isang report, hindi nakarinig. It concerns about the people that journeyed with Paul.
See, that is your point. The people that journeyed with Paul. Balik natin yung talata ulit.
And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man.
They heard the voice, definitely. The people that journeyed with Paul heard a voice. They did not see any man.
nakarinig sila. Okay.
That's the point. Now, what is the second point?
And they that were with me saw indeed the light.
There is another information here. They have seen the light. The people that journeyed with him have seen the light.
And
And
were
were afraid. But they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. What is that? They did not hear what the voice is speaking to Paul. In fact, they are ignorant of what Jesus Christ said to Paul. So it is clear now, although they heard the voice, they were not informed of what the voice have said. It is now being clarified by Paul in this incident. According to him, they heard not the voice of him that spake with me. They did not hear, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? They have no idea about that. They heard the voice, but they were not privy to what the voice was telling to Paul. It is Paul who clarifies this. They heard not the voice of him that spake with me. They really heard a voice, but they were not privy to what the voice said unto Paul. Now, look at this. The writer of the book of Acts is Luke himself. Can Luke contradict himself? He is a doctor. He is a physician by profession. By norms, we must not mistake Luke to be an Ulyanin. It's just a matter of some chapters in the scriptures. Then you will say, written by the same writer, then they are now contradicting each other. It will never happen. In the norms, in the ordinary prompting of men, especially so, Luke have introduced to us his knowledge before he write. Having a perfect understanding of the things that happened among us, he wrote according to him. So, wala pong contradiction eh. Nakarinig sila ng boses. Boses! Parang, something like that. Pero hindi nila narinig sinasabi pa lang ng boses. Saulo, bakit mo ko pinag-uusig? Mahirap sa'yo ang sumikat sa matulis. Hindi nila alam yun. Yun ang sinasabi ni Paul sa 22. Ganun po yun.
So my understanding there mga ka-Youthino, ang sinasabi to ni Brother Eli is that it was a further clarification by Paul na while it is true that they may hear some voice, pero hindi talaga nila narinig. So in that regard, what is meant there is what exactly was said. It was never understood. It was never known by people. So I think in ang gustong sabihin dito, no, ng dalawang talata. Interestingly, sa pagliliwanag ni Pablo, sinabi niya dito, sa second part, no, doon sa 22:9, sinabi niya dito that they have seen the light but they have not heard. Kung babalik mo sa kanina sa 9:7, ang sinasabi naman dito, they have not seen but they have heard. So katulad nga ng sabi ni Brother Eli, it's most definitely a clarification by Paul on what truly happened.
Thank you, Brother Eli. Sana huwag nilang misunderstood na I just come here to test your ability. I am with my sincere desire to come here just.
And I believe on that. I believe on that, brother.
My second question, Brother Eli, if you will allow it, this is about our church. The principle that we are standing o ang paninindigan namin sa Mormons ay ganito. Kasi nung binasa ko ang Bible, maraming contradiction ang mga turo namin. Tapos, sa simbahan namin, last Sunday, we have a simple disputes. Because according to our stand, the Bible, we only believe the Bible as a word of God as long as it is correctly translated. So I refute to that. Then I told them, when you say correctly translated, mayroon kang correct translation para ikumpara mo alin yung hindi correct translation.
Logically, definitely, that is the right analysis.
Now, I want to hear from you with regards to the stance that we have.
You see, the stand of the Mormons is as rocky as the Rocky Mountains. Ganyan po ang Mormons. Sabi ni Joseph Smith, he is speaking the voice of God or the will of God. Sabi niya, magtatayo tayo rito ng sentral dito sa lugar na to. At maitatayo yan sapagkat yan ang covenant ng Diyos sa akin. After some time, nawala sila doon, pinag-usig sila sa Amerika, tinaboy sila. Hindi totoo. Ano? Let us prove that. Pakilagay sa screen. Ibasa mo nga, kapatid na Joseph.
On August 3, Smith laid a cornerstone.
Okay, before that, what is really surprising about the team of Brother Eli, ano? So, maliban pa sa abilidad ni Brother Eli na ma-remember yung mga tamang sitas, yung mga tamang argumento, I have to also commend yung team behind. Sa itanong mo kay Soriano, katulad ni na Brother Josel, at yung staff mismo na nag-ooperate ng kanilang screen, ano? Dahil tinan nyo naman, ilang seconds lang, patungkol sa sinabi nga ni Brother Eli na ang stand ng Mormons ay mas rocky pa sa Rocky Mountains. So, pansinin ninyo na ang bilis din makapick up ng kanyang mga staff na alam ng almost the next na pag-aargumento ni Brother Eli. That is very, very interesting for me. Kasi kung gaano kahusay si Brother Eli, I think we have to also appreciate yung husay din ng kanyang mga staff sa pag-support immediately sa kung anong argumento tumatakbo ang isip ni Brother Eli. Matagal ko na talaga itong na-appreciate and I think they are underappreciated. So, kung sino man yung in charge sa kanilang IT bayan or in charge sa kanilang visual presentation, I really appreciate it. Ang husay po talaga nila.
For a temple, and even though he predicted that this location would become a gathering place where the saints
would wait for the millennial reign of Jesus Christ, his prophecy would never be fulfilled. the great influx of Mormon settlers into the area, coupled with Smith's prediction that Zion would be established in the time of the Gentiles, would soon come to an end. Led by many hard feelings between the Mormons and the non-LDS Missourians, the all-important gathering of saints was short-lived. Within 3 years, the saints were forced to live independence. The temple never became a reality. He claimed that there was a covenant given to him by God, that they are going to erect a temple at Missouri in the U.S. But, if he is really a prophet of God, dapat matupad yan. Kahit isang temple, hindi sila nakapagtayo doon hanggang pinalaya sila doon sa doon sa Independence, Missouri. Eh, paano nyo naman paniniwala? Kung kayo, if you are a believer of the Bible, sabi ng Biblia, tenyo ha?
Pagka ang isang propeta ay nagsasalita sa pangalan ng Panginoon, kung ang bagay na sinasabi ay hindi sumunod ni mangyari, ay hindi sinalita ng Panginoon ang bagay na yaon. Ang propetang yaon ay nagsalita ng kahambugan, huwag mong katatakutan siya.
After this meeting, aalalayas ako dyan sa Mormons.
Baka sa pangyayaring ito, matanggal na pamilya ko kasi dinala ko dito pero I'm just after the truth. Kung ano man ang katotohanan, siya ang mananaig. Thank you so much.
I pray for that, kapatid.
Wow. So mga ka-U3, isa na namang episode po ng Usap-Usap University. I'm not so sure if that is a rare copy, but that copy was specially sent to us via Facebook po, no? Yung link po ay binigay po sa Facebook. And I'm very appreciative of the support ng atin pong mga ka-U3 dahil po lagi po kayo may mga binibigay po ng mga video suggestions, mga request po sa atin pong Facebook page. But anyway, what is surprising for me for that video is how trivial a simple question may be. Actually, naging two-part nga yung question niya, no? Yung unang tanong niya patungkol nga sa seeming na inconsistency na napansin niya doon sa narration ni Luke. At pangalawa naman ay yung pagtatanong niya tungkol sa Mormons. I feel na sa episode na ito, I think the second part was a longer explanation kasi ang nakita lang natin yung una lang, no? Yung patungkol nga sa Mormons 101, yung patungkol sa prediction nga ni Joseph Smith na magkakaroon ng parang central, na parang Zion, pero hindi natupad after 3 years. I feel na sa actual na pagtatanong medyo mahaba, pero siguro dahil ito ay parte lamang ng isang TV show, kinakailangan nilang i-edit at putulin. But what is nice is at the last part, sinabi dito nung nagtatanong na sabi niya natatanggalin niya na daw sa Mormons, no? Yung kanyang pamilya dahil siya din daw ang parang nakapag-force na mapasok or ma-convert yung kanyang family into Mormonism. But anyway, I'm very curious about Mormons that are subscribers and viewers of Usap-Usap University, or kung kayo man ay visitor po ng Mormons, ano pong masasabi nyo sa sinasabi ni Brother Eli na rocky daw yung inyong mga doctrines at paniniwala sa The Church of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. So please comment down below kung totoo ba itong sinasabi ni Brother Eli o hindi. Or you can also share with us sa comment section mga ka-youthi kung ano pong masasabi nyo sa episode na ito. Medyo maikli, medyo bitin, but as always, I hope that we get something new out of that segment. So mga ka-youthi, maraming salamat po sa panonood, and if you like these kinds of contents, please click subscribe here. Meron din po tayong episode dito, meron din tayong video dito, at lahat po ng mga comments po ninyo ay aming pong pinabasa. Kaya maraming salamat po, and I'll see you again in our next episodes. Paalam po, peace! Bye-bye!